When it comes to the sport of triathlon, it's your responsibility as an athlete to know the rules. If you're like me, you probably haven't read the USA Triathlon Handbook of Rules, but you've either learned by doing, reading the athlete participant guide online. I've gone to so many pre-race meetings that I do know the rules, but sometimes I forget them. So whether you're a beginner or experienced athletes, it's good to review a few things, especially on the bike, because most disqualifications or time penalties occur on the bike. So today I want to talk about some key rules that you should know as you prepare for your triathlon event. Number one, so after you've entered transition after the swim, the first thing I like to do is put my helmet on and buckle it. You must always have your helmet buckled in transition. So before you exit on your bike, the helmet must be buckled. As you enter and re-rack your bike, your helmet must be buckled. So you don't want to come into that second transition right before you go on your run and unbuckle your strap. You want to keep your helmet buckled until your bike is re-racked in transition 2. Number 2, we'll talk about drafting. Drafting has changed over the years. When I started, I remember it used to be you had to be about 3 to 5 meters behind the cyclist in front of you, and you had maybe 10 seconds to pass them. And over the years, that drafting area has gotten larger and larger. It's probably somewhere now between 10 and 15 meters. Make sure you check with the race director. But what that means is you can't ride directly behind someone unless you're doing a USA or unless you're doing an International Triathlon Union ITU event. So drafting is probably where the most time penalties occur. You're allowed 3 drafting time penalties and then you're disqualified. So that's something you want to make sure you go to a pre-race meeting. If you don't understand the drafting concept and how to pass, make sure you attend the pre-race meeting. As part of drafting, you want to make sure you are riding to the left. If you're in the United States, it's going to be different if you're overseas, but ride on the left, pass on the right. So you have roughly 15 to 20 seconds to pass to overtake that cyclist. So as you're passing, then you must get directly over to the right. If you remain on the left side and a judge, referee sees that, he's going to give you a blocking penalty, because right now all the cyclists are on the right except you're on the left, so you're preventing other cyclists from passing. So review the drafting as well as the blocking rules. I highly recommend it. Or go to the pre-race meeting and ask questions about it. Usually they'll have a race official specifically just talking about drafting, and they'll have bikes there and they'll demonstrate what it looks like to be a certain meters behind the other one, and they'll demonstrate how to actually pass someone. Number 3, the mount and dismount line. You cannot mount your bike after you get it from your transition area until you run it across the mount line. That is a time penalty. I think it's a couple minutes. It's not a disqualification, I don't think. It's definitely a time penalty. Same thing, as you're coming back in from the bike ready to go to the run, you must dismount your bike at the dismount line. Usually the mount line and the dismount line are the same, and there's usually volunteers there. So make sure you slow down, especially as you're coming into T2 before you start the run. You slow down so you can dismount appropriately at the dismount line. Number 4, and this is pretty obvious, cutting the course is an automatic disqualification. It's your responsibility as an athlete to know the course, and even if a volunteer misdirects you, it's still your responsibility to know the course and to follow it correctly so you don't get disqualified. I'd love to hear any stories you have about you getting any disqualifications from the bike, if you've had some drafting penalties or anything else. Comment below, join the chatter in our T2 Endurance Facebook group, and make it a great day.